Hey everybody, it's Bruno on MB, and today we got a great episode. We got Scott Cruz from Dovetail Project Management, Inc. Just got to remind you, Scott, welcome aboard.
Thank you, Bruno.
Not everything has to be serious. That's the whole thing, but you know what? We're going to get right to it. We're talking about the biggest construction myth. You're in the construction business. We'll talk about your company in a little bit, but right off the bat, biggest construction myth or one of you were mentioning
is to not provide the budget for your construction upfront. That, misconception of every construction guy is out to take all the money that you have in your construction and put it in his pocket is a huge misconception for our industry. I think if you have a trusted contractor, your ideal situation is you give them the budget that you want to work within, and then they can tailor that project or your construction to fit within your budget.
Okay, so what you're saying is it's okay to say, you know what, I got 50 grand to spend on my front lawn. Or in your case, you don't do landscaping.
No, but if let's say they have, let's call 50 grand, nice round number. We have $50,000 to do, to build out an office in a commercial space. Mm-hmm. I can either say, you know what, this is the right fit for us, or this isn't a fit because you're not going to get it done, because of X, Y, and Z. It's going to cost you 150. So
right.
Let's, stop at the front, or let's move ahead.
Where do customers usually go sideways? Is it the materials, is it the labor, is it the permitting in terms of cost?
There's a lot of things that can go wrong. Initially, if it's not a good plan from the very beginning, if we don't have engineers and architects involved, things can go sideways really quickly in a renovation. It certainly helps if you have some credibility from your contractor. They've been doing it for 20 years, as opposed to a guy that's hung a shingle out on his door.
Sure.
I can do construction. I've seen it on TV.
We're going to talk about that in one of our episodes too, right?
Yeah, we are. So it really, I think the front end planning is the key to making sure that your construction is on time and on budget. So
I guess I want to stay on the budget thing right now, because that's kind of a biggest myth, is that if you kind of keep your cards close to your chest, and the contractor has to kind of constantly guess what kind of materials you want. And
right.
Say,
so
yeah.
I think, when you walk through with your contractor and you say, so I want to build X, Y, and Z, and I want all glass fronts, and I want all of this fancy stuff. And the contractor says, well, so what's your budget? And the client says, I don't really have a budget. In the back of their mind, they probably do have a budget. And we've run into this with a lot of different clients where you ask them what their budget is up front, and they're holding those cards so close to their chest. And it's like, well, you tell me what it's going to cost, and then we can move forward. So we do all this preliminary design and planning and go through that budgeting process. And then all of a sudden, they're expecting a $50,000 budget, and we come in with a $250,000 budget. Mm-hmm. And now all of a sudden they say, well, that's not what I wanted to spend. So you did have a budget. So why didn't we talk about the budget first? Because you didn't want to buy a Ferrari.
Right.
You wanted to buy a Civic.
So do they even make Civics now? Yeah, they do.
I think they do. Yeah.
Arden, do they make Civics? They do? Yeah.
They do. Yeah.
He's my researcher.
I would have said a Pinto, but I don't think they make Pintos
Nobody
anymore.
Makes Pintos anymore. No. And that's a really good, opener. Because years ago, if I could share this really quick story about, the whole budgeting, I called for a certain item, right? And it was for IT infrastructure. And I called somebody and I didn't really know what it was. And I said, do you carry this? He goes, before we go on, just want to let you know, this one server, it starts off at 10 or 15,000 bucks. And I'm like, oh my God, I thought you can get it at Staples for $100, right? But that's, I guess my point is, how much of it people don't know, and how much are they actually holding their cards in your experience?
Well, and I think, when you ask someone if they've done it before, oh yeah, I did it before, I did it 15 years ago. Well, construction's changed quite a bit from 15 years ago to today. What it cost 15 years ago isn't necessarily what it costs today. Mm-hmm. There's lots of shows on TV that talk about construction, that talk about, the cost of things being so cheap. And, well, with our economy right now, people think that they can get into space for nothing, that people are banging on their doors because the economy is so bad. And it's really fairly far from the truth. Construction is still booming in Calgary. It's maybe not as busy as it was 5 years ago, but materials have gone up. The cost of importing those materials have gone up. So the construction costs have all gone up. We maybe make less margin, so the costs have equalized a little bit that way, but we're still, the materials, a great example is the wood over the last year. Not that we would use wood in commercial construction, but our steel costs have gone up by 250%.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, how can you even know the budget if you've
Yeah.
done it even 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Right. So, okay. So let's talk really briefly about Dovetail Project Management. You're the president.
We are, yep, I am the president.
Where'd you get the name?
So my background is architecture and design. So I went to school and took architecture at SAIT. Worked for a company, was going to go through the syllabus program and become an architect. The city tanked in the early 90s. And I went back to school and became a cabinet maker.
Oh, interesting.
So from that, I did a lot of dovetails by hand. And if they're not perfect, as far as integration, it doesn't work. And so when I thought about the company, I thought, we're helping our clients, but it needs to be a fit. And if it's not a fit, it doesn't work.
So yeah, if you watch the Seinfeld shows, George was a architect. That was his pickup trade.
He's an architect.
So do you use that to impress people?
No, I try not to.
No. So it's not Vanderlei Industries that became Dovetail.
No, exactly.
Okay. And you've been doing this for how long?
So I've had our company for 17 years. So 2006 we started off, and then before that I worked for a couple of other companies as well.
So right now, as we're taping this right now, what would you say you specialize in?
Commercial interior construction is really where we're a great fit for us. Small to medium size real estate companies are great for us because we can provide that turnkey service with our background in design and development. And I worked for a few real estate companies over the years, and so I have some understanding of leasing and what makes sense and longevity in the space as well, and how it works for maintenance.
Okay, good.
So we can put all that together. We can do the design development, that whole front end, that whole project management side, and then build the space out and give you that single point of contact, one point of contact in that turnkey process.
Oh, that's awesome. So the biggest myth we talked about today is basically tell them your budget. Save time and time and aggravation. Tell us what your budget is, and then people like you, experts, will work within that budget.
Right, and then we can hone that space or hone your ideas in what you want and what you're looking for in that space to make it fit within your budget. Because we can always do the construction to suit what your budget is. It's not this grandiose design and then we have to pare it out and value engineer stuff. I'd rather start from the beginning and give you a great design that works within your budget, and in the end you're happy.
Makes sense. All right, so Scott, other than the description below here with the link, how can people get in touch with you?
So you can either call us at 403-560-1767 or get in touch with us on our website at www.dovetailpm.ca.
We're going to be back. Our next episode, we're going to be talking about basically how, again, another myth that thinks people who are in construction are low-level laborers and stuff like that, and that's the furthest thing from the truth. But we're gonna come back with Scott and with Dovetail Project Management. Thanks for the first spot on this.
Thanks,
great.
Bruno. It was great.
All right.